thing Mrs. Linton did, she said, on her arrival at the Heights was to run upstairs without even wishing good evening to me and Joseph. She shut herself in Linton's room and remained till morning. Then, while the master and Earnshaw were at breakfast, she entered the house and asked, if all in a quiver, if the doctor might be sent for. Her cousin was very ill. We know that, answered Heathcliff, but his life is not worth a farthing, and I won't spend a farthing on him. But I cannot tell what to do, she said, and if nobody will help me, he'll die. Walk out of the room, cried the master, and let me never hear a word about him. None here care what becomes of him. If you do, act the nurse. If you do not, lock him up and leave him. Then she began to bother me, and I said I'd had enough plague with the tiresome thing. We each had our tasks, and hers was to wait on Linton. Mr. Heathcliff bid me leave the labor to her. How they managed together, I can't tell. I fancy he fretted a great deal and moaned his Linton night and day. And she had precious little rest, one could guess by her white face and heavy eyes. She sometimes came into the kitchen all bewildered-like, and looked as if she would fain beg assistance, but I was not going to disobey the master. I never dared disobey him, Mrs. Dean, and though I thought it wrong that Kenneth should not be sent for, it was none of concern of mine, either to advise or to complain, and I always refused to meddle. Once or twice after we had gone to bed, I've happened to open my door again and see her sitting crying on the stairs top, and then I've shut myself in quick for fear of being moved to intervene. I did pity her then, I'm sure. Still, I didn't want to lose my place, you know. At last, one night, she came boldly into my chamber and frightened me out of my wits by saying, "Tell Mr. Heathcliff that his son is dying. I'm sure he is this time. Get up instantly and tell him." Having uttered this speech, she vanished again. I lay a quarter of an hour listening and trembling. Nothing stirred. The house was quiet. She's mistaken, I said to myself. He's got over it. I needn't disturb them, and I began to doze, but my sleep was marred a second time by a sharp ringing of the bell, the only bell we have, put up on purpose for Linton, and the master called to me to see what was the matter, and informed them that he wouldn't have that noise repeated. I delivered Catherine's message. He cursed to himself, and in a few minutes came out with a lighted candle and proceeded to their room. I followed. Mrs. Heathcliff was seated by the bedside with her hands folded on her knees. Her father-in-law went up, held the light to Linton's face, looked at him, and touched him. Afterwards he turned to her. "Now, Catherine," he said, "how do you feel?" She was dumb. "How do you feel, Catherine?" he repeated. "He's safe, and I'm free," she answered. "I should feel well, but," she continued with a bitterness she couldn't conceal, "you have left me so long to struggle against death alone that I feel and see only death. I feel like death." And she looked like it, too. I gave her a little wine. Hareton and Joseph, who had been wakened by the ringing and the sound of feet and heard our talk from outside, now entered. Joseph was fain, I believe, of the lad's removal. Hareton seemed a thought bothered, though he was more taken up with staring at Catherine than thinking of Linton. But the master bid him get off to bed again. We didn't want his help. He afterwards made Joseph remove the body from his chamber, and told me to return to mine, and Mrs. Heathcliff remained by herself. In the morning he sent me to tell her that she must come down to breakfast. She had undressed and appeared going to sleep, and